Well, look at us all grown up being on television through Zoom. This is my first Zoom interview on Health, Wellness, Lifestyle TV, and I have two amazing sisters involved. In our show today, the series is called Women in Health in Business, and the two of you are in the magnesium supplement industry. I want to talk to you today about, and welcome to the show, first of all, ladies. Thanks for
having us.
taking the time out of your schedules. I know you're both very busy. I'm excited about having you on the show because I think the two of you really exemplify what it means to be women in business, parenting, dealing with the stress of having your own company during COVID, trying to maintain revenue, and also being a mom and managing what's happening at home as well. So let's start by talking about ITL Health and what it is your company is. I think that Lene, you're the corporate sister. Tell me a bit about your company and what you guys do.
We focus on high quality magnesium supplements, and the reason we chose that as our focus is because we find it very foundational to good health. If you don't have high magnesium levels, a lot of other things in the body can't function, and it's one of the most abundant minerals in the body, so certainly very important. We started many years ago. It's a family business started by our father, and he was selling magnesium for another company that's quite well known and was selling online, and we actually he saw that there was a need in Europe for a really good quality magnesium supplement. So he started selling there. And after a few years of really getting it going and seeing how receptive the European market was to it, he parted ways with that particular company, but really felt like he wanted to continue bringing that to the market. So we started to manufacture our own, and neither of us were involved with the business at that time, but yep. He's a very busy man, has a lot of things on the go.
He pulled you guys into it?
Pretty much, yeah. It started as a few hours a day of help, and it's full time. And then we begged Megan to come on board after her maternity leave, because who better to work with than family? And here we are.
And here you are. And I think that what makes your company really unique as well is that you, again, your siblings that get along. That's the first thing.
Most of the time.
Yeah, right? In front of the camera you do. But I love the fact as well, Megan, that you are a registered nutritionist as well. So you've been in the health and wellness industry for some time, and you're bringing your expertise to your family company as well.
Yeah, so we've been very fortunate. We were raised with parents who were always very interested in health, and this is before, it was kind of a fad to be very healthy before social media was around and that sort of thing. We actually lovingly recall how we were teased when we were little because we had to eat birdseed bread at school where everybody else was getting Wonder Bread. Yeah. We've always all been interested in health, and that's what set me on my path to becoming a registered holistic nutritionist. And originally I wanted to work with clients, and I did do that full time for a long time, consulting. And then a few life changes, and like Lene said, they recruited me to come work for the family business, and it's been amazing.
I think it's the first time in the history of mankind that literally, if you're feeling sorry for yourself, your neighbor is probably going through the exact same thing as you. It's been a lot for women in general, and of course for our spouses as well, but I'm talking about women today. It's been a lot being a woman and parenting. What are some of the things that people can do, simple steps to try to get better and try to get through such a stressful time?
Right. I think, it's really important for us to focus on this because as, we talked off camera before, this isn't going away. This isn't a temporary 2-week to flatten the curve like we thought it might be, or even a few months. And so we all need to—
They didn't tell us the truth.
Yeah, exactly.
It's 2 years.
We basically need to adjust and recover. And, that's hard because we're still in it. So it's hard to think about recovering when you're still in it. But for all of our own sanity, we have to, because, as women, as moms, we tend to bear the brunt of the childcare, all of the housework. And, I know from my personal experience that most women I know feel they're suffering through this more than men. And so, the biggest thing I always say is when you're stressed, obviously we believe in magnesium. You need a good magnesium supplement. And this is because magnesium is responsible for 80% of biochemical reactions in the body, which is 1,000 processes. So there's 1,000 things that go on in your body that need magnesium to be able to do it.
Wow.
The nervous system, the adrenals being major ones for stress, and the muscles for relaxing, but even something like vitamin D there's been a lot of research to show that it really helps positive COVID outcomes, but a lot of people don't realize that the activation of vitamin D is magnesium dependent. So if you can take vitamin D, but if you lack magnesium to activate it, it will just sit in your liver and kidneys not being used.
I can tell you that most people that I know are taking D3.
Right.
I can probably tell you that most people are not taking it with magnesium.
That's exactly it. And that's the little known piece of the puzzle that you need that. And so what people, it's important for them to understand in the body that you have these 1,000 things that need magnesium. Well, let's say your body needs that vitamin D because it encounters a virus. Well, then it might not give as much magnesium to the nervous system, or to relaxing the muscles or that sort of thing. And, if there's a limited amount of magnesium, your body can't function properly. Right. So magnesium is fundamental to overcoming stress, because research shows that when we're stressed, it depletes magnesium from our body. But on the flip side, when we lack magnesium, we can't handle stress as well. So it's a very vicious cycle. And basically the best way to overcome it is to supplement with magnesium, because it's difficult to get from our food and we're stressed. And the last thing that we need to burden ourselves with is, what food should I eat? Oh, I got to eat this, I got to eat that to get better magnesium, right? So a high quality magnesium supplement can do wonders for stress. B vitamins, they are very important for adrenal support, which is responsible for that fight or flight reaction. And also for energy production, B vitamins are good for, as well as magnesium. And then beyond those two supplements, I would just recommend, watch your diet. Don't have too much sugar, try to cut out alcohol, not too much caffeine, just don't let yourself, like I always say, don't let your stress you out. So don't feel like, oh, I can't eat sugar, and feel bad for yourself. Yeah. Don't let your stress you out. And that's huge. Most people do. That's a real thing. And at the end of the day, all three of us, are running companies, and we're trying to, make the best life we possibly can for our own families. And then we go home and we want to, I love working, and I've never been ashamed of being a working mom. I just do. I think that I'm a better mom because I'm a working mom. And I just don't think that I have it in me to do, stay-at-home moms. It's a commitment. It is especially right now, you can't go anywhere. There's nowhere to take the kids. There's no play dates to schedule. There's no farms open. There's, malls to walk around. Yeah. Do you recommend jumping with both feet right now, or even passively trying to start a business during COVID? What do you think, Lene? The bottom line is that you have to do what feels good for you. And I say, go for it. Absolutely go for it. But if you feel like it's going to overwhelm you and stress you even more, probably not the best time. So really, I think it's a personal choice. People have to do what feels best for them. And I mean, there's in some ways a lot of business opportunities. I think the landscape is changing a lot. A lot of people, their jobs are off, but there's also a lot of fields that are really expanding. So with a little bit of creativity, I think it's certainly something to explore. Right. I mean, I know that for me, I started a couple of, side gigs that ended up doing really well. I encourage women right now, like you just said, Lene, look for opportunities in adversity, because they do exist, and again, like with your health, baby steps, maybe starting a business can be baby steps as well. So what is next for you guys? I mean, when we first met and started talking about your business, I was like, okay, wait a second. So you're Canadian, but you've launched in Europe first. You guys are really strong in Europe. And you're looking for the same successes in Canada. I think it's listen, the world is our oyster truly for the very first time, because of the internet and the superhighway, and we can reach people so easily. So I can tell that there's more stuff on the horizon, because Lene is smiling so much. She's like, yes, we're doing some amazing things. We're really excited to bring the product to North America, actually, or, start marketing it more in North America, because it's very rewarding to work in a company like this when you get customer emails, telling you how much your supplement has helped them and how thankful they are for, your advice and the work that you do, because it's helped them, it's helped their sister, it's helped their mom. Sure. And it's amazing. And we love to see that success in Europe, obviously, but in Canada, like this is our country, right? So it just feels very exciting to be able to introduce this to our country.
Manufacturing it in Canada is exciting too, because it means we can offer Canadians a great price. And traditionally it feels like prices in Canada are always a little bit more. So it's nice to be able to kind of give back to our country with a good supplement at a good price.
Absolutely. I mean, I am all about, obviously, women in business, always have been. I love the fact that your company is involved in an industry to make people feel better. And I think that right now more than ever, as a global audience, people are just wanting to feel better. You've gone ahead as well, Megan, and put together a simple list of just easy things you could do in your life to make yourself feel better. That's available on your website as well.
Yes, definitely. You know, when consulting with people, I always, again, don't let your stress you out. You know, you don't want to get advice on how to deal with your stress and feel overwhelmed by it.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being on our Women in Health in Business series. You guys are awesome. I wish you guys both the best of luck. You're going to be on again as well. We'll be doing more conversations. I think our next subject is going to be probably around kids and making them happy and healthy as well. But ladies, thank you very much for being on the show.